Welcome back to Sunrise Daily, continuing our focus on the preparedness of INEC. Let's start off zeroing in on the distribution of the permanent voter cards. Well, first and foremost, Jide Ogunso joins us now. He's data and information analyst. Thank you for coming on again today.
Thank you.
Have you taken a look at the figures by INEC on the PVC?
Yes, it's quite interesting where we are right now, especially if you look at the earlier release of INEC. That was in January 7th, when they initially released the initial list of the PVCs that had been distributed to Nigerians, and the release of February 17th, 2 days ago. What you'll find is of cosmic significance, and that's because there had been a general conspiracy theory that one of the reasons why the elections had been shifted was to favor a particular political party, in this case the PDP. But what you will find out is on the earlier release of INEC on January 7th, the PVC collection rate among APC-governed states, the 14 APC-governed states, then was only 51%. Then you also had the PVC collection rate in PDP-governed states to be 69%. Now, what you have is total collection of PVCs as at the 17th of February is 52.2 million. But more interesting is to see which party has gained from this delay, this election shift. And clearly it seems to favor the opposition, because prior to the election postponement, PVC collection rate in APC-governed states was 51%. Presently, that is 72%. So we've seen a 22% increase in PVC collection rate across those APC-governed states. In the PDP-governed states, prior to the election postponement, that rate was 64%. It's moved to 79%. So as at the moment, because the elections has been shifted, and what we have is a more equitable distribution of PVC collections. Across APC-governed states, as at today, PVC collection rate is 72%. In simple terms, 10 out of 7 registered voters in those 14 APC-governed states, 7 out of 10 have collected their PVCs. Same thing with the PDP-governed states right now, the 21 PDP-governed states, 7 out of 10 have also collected their PVC. So what we have is a more balanced, or rather to use the right word, an equitable distribution of PVCs across the two major political parties at the moment. That's one very laudable achievement, or one laudable thing the election postponement has given us.
Sorry, if I may come in here, are you, in this distribution you're talking, are you considering what one of our guests mentioned here about those collecting in proxy for their people, for the people they know? Are you considering that?
As of today,
or you're just taking it from the whole picture?
We have to take it from the whole picture, because INEC, or none of INEC's representatives, both the chairman or the chief press secretary to the chairman, has come out to say there have been collections by proxy. What we have is they insisting that all PVCs that have been collected by individuals. And that doesn't mean that there isn't a possible, or there haven't been possible scenarios of collections by proxies, but we do not have evidence, or we do not have the figures to discuss the number of persons that have collected their PVCs based on proxies. What we have is to understand that within these two periods, between January 7th, when the initial INEC PVC collection list was released, and February 17th, when the updated PVC collection list was released, what we've seen is there are 7 states where PVC collection rates has increased by over 50%. We have Anambra, which is APGA, we have Enugu, which is PDP, and we have 5 states that are APC-governed states, so Lagos, Imo, Rivers, Zamfara, Nasarawa, are 5 out of the 7 states, which are APC states, that have seen PVC collection rates grow by over 50%, which I think also breaks down the conspiracy theory that the shift in election was going to give a significant advantage to the ruling party.
Now, from what you've seen also, I mean, I don't know if you watched the press briefing of the INEC chairman. Are you confident that we would actually have credible elections?
I'm confident that we will have credible elections. What I'm not so confident about is the voter turnout. Because what we've been focusing on in the build-up to these elections has been the PVC collection rate. How many people have collected their PVCs? How many people have not collected their PVCs? We haven't focused a lot on people coming out to vote, because collecting PVCs and we focusing on the PVC collection rates isn't the same thing as we focusing on the voter turnout rates. I think our emphasis now should go to the voter turnout rate, especially because history is not on our side. In 2003, during the presidential elections, only 7 out of 10 voted. Then in 2007, only 6 out of 10 voted. Then in 2011, only 5 out of 10 voted. If we go by what we've all been taught in school and looking at trends, when you have 7, 6, 5, the next number that will follow that trend is 4.
You don't think that there was a reason for that in terms of, confidence in the polls, people being, people thinking that their votes might not count? But from what you've seen so far, do you think that that is going to change, especially from the clamor for PVCs?
I think this time around, we most likely will see more people turning out to vote, even though the trend suggests that voter turnout historically has been declining. And the reason why I strongly feel that voter turnout may perhaps be higher this time around is to look at the PVC collection rate across regions. That is about the nearest proxy to measure people's enthusiasm. So we would ordinarily expect, in the absence of any other available information, that regions where you've had high PVC collection rates will most likely be the same regions where you would have high voter turnout rates, because it will be illogical to have regions where you have over 90% PVC collection rates, and then on election day, they don't turn out to vote.
Which region has the highest?
Right now, the Northwest has the highest PVC collection rate. PVC collection rate in the Northwest and the Northeast is above 80%. Those are the only two regions where PVC collection rate is above 80%. Well, if we want to look at it on a state perspective, we have only 7 states where PVC collection rate is above 90%. That's we have Gombe in the Northeast, Nasarawa State in North Central, and then you have Kaduna, Kano, Kebbi, Kaduna, Kebbi, Katsina, Zamfara, and Jigawa states in the Northwest. So those are the 7 states that PVC collection rate is above 90%. Why that's interesting at this moment is, on one hand, the 2 major political parties have reasons to be happy. And that's because among these 7 states, General Buhari won 6 out of these 7 states in the 2011 election. So that gives APC, the APC, a lot of hope about their prospects. But on the other hand, 5 out of these 7 states presently are being governed by the PDP. So we're expecting to see a lot of tussle in the Northwest, because historically, especially looking at the last elections where these 7 states that PVC collection rate is above 9%, General Buhari won 6 out of these 7 states. But as of today, 5 out of these 7 states are governed by the PDP. So we'll see a lot of activity and a lot of contest, especially in the Northwest and the Northeast.